Hey folks, and welcome to another installment of Dave's Impressions. This time around, Tyranny. These impressions were taken from playing the game for around 3 hours. Enjoy! I described Tyranny to a friend as, imagine Sauron is about to take over Middle-earth, and you're a rising star in his army. You know how one of the selling points of most dialogue-heavy computer RPGs are their moral pathways? How there's usually a good path, a bad path, and everything in between. From my short time with Tyranny, I was struck by the thought that this is a game without a good path. There is a trying your hardest to lessen the damage path, and from my understanding, such decisions mostly end up making things worse. In my Pillars of Eternity impressions, I lamented how in a lot of RPGs, there's a disconnect between role-playing your player character with a specific personality and making the best use of the game mechanics. Some games give more experience for certain responses on the dialogue tree, and if you have an idea what path you want to go down, the responses you choose might clash with who you want your character to be. As an example, during character creation, I picked the diplomat background. This got me into a headspace of since I'm on team bad guy, I need to show dominance, knowledge, and aptitude. Compassion in asking too many questions is weak, as it will show that I don't know everything I should know, and that I need to rely on other people. Now my personal beliefs are the exact opposite. Asking questions is smart. Only fools think they know everything, and compassion and empathy are positions of strength because at least for me, they're so difficult to cultivate. I'm role-playing, however, so as the early hours unfolded, I found myself not asking questions, not showing my allies what I could do, saving lives when it was in my power to do so, and in general being insufferable. I wasn't enjoying my playthrough. I think I was making too many bad decisions, and I think I ignored too much of the side content, finding myself underleveled in a pivotal encounter. For my final hour, I decided to re-roll. While not being able to reach where I was before, things felt a lot better the second time around. I had an idea which faction I would align with, and I would play as myself, asking all the questions I felt I wanted to. And when a dialogue option came up that used one of my stats, I would pick that option. Because not only is it a unique outcome, but in this game, picking those options level up those stats. The only time I didn't was when the option directly insulted the leader of the faction I wanted to carry favor with. I found that an enticing decision though. Do I want to improve this stat at the loss of my standing with the group, or the other way around? Favor works on sliding scales both large and small. The factions in the game world, the Disavowed, the Scarlet Chorus, and the Vandrian Guard, slide from favor to wrath depending on your actions. Once you reach a certain level of either side, you unlock new abilities. It's the same with your party members. You can make them loyal or you can make them fear you. Both incur bonuses once you go far enough, but obviously the way they interact with you will change, and some might leave your party if you push them far enough. In my first playthrough, this knight called Barrack who joined my party was nice enough to me, as I was leaning more towards the Disavowed. In my second play, leaning hard towards the Scarlet Chorus, he was an absolute dick. So much so I felt like I wanted to leave him to die, no matter how useful in combat he was. Combat seemed a lot more bare bones than other games in this genre I've played. Positioning and cooldown management is important as that's mainly what you have to work with. You can execute dual attacks once per fight with each of your party members. All your other attacks are situational, many placing modifiers on the enemy such as bleeding or fire. It feels like real-time chess, and like other Infinity Engine games, pausing at least after every attack or two is a good idea in case you need to make changes based on new information. While the combat seemed a little too bare bones for my liking, I enjoyed the level up system. It reminded me of early World of Warcraft, where you can either go deep into one tree or spread yourself thin over a couple. Having to restart means that I didn't get as far into the game as I would have liked for this impressions video. Tyranny wasn't able to get its hooks into me. I think hamstringing myself trying to roleplay early on soured my opinion, and I wasn't able to see enough of the game once I chose a path and decided to stick to it. I think the no good answers scenario of working for an evil overlord, while novel, pushes against the type of character I like to play in these games. You know, a goody two-shoes. Those who enjoy taking the dark path while roleplaying should get a lot more out of Tyranny than I did. Thanks for watching. I think if I ever decide to return to this game, I'll pick the story difficulty and enjoy the narrative. The sparse combat gives me the impression that mistakes are not tolerated as so few options are available. If you enjoyed this video, Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day.